And that was part of it. She said, I had a good job. She said, I had a really good job making good money. And she said, I can't work anymore. She said, I'm on disability making a fourth of what I was making at my job. She said, I had good insurance. She said, now I'm on state insurance, on Medicaid, which is sucks compared to what I had. She said, I can't enjoy my life. She said, before I traveled, enjoyed my life. And she said, now I don't. And she said, because I was greedy and thought I could get that $1 million.
And welcome back to another episode of True Stories from a Real Private Eye. I'm your host, Vinnie Coppola. With me, as always, is Lynn Lambdin, a real private investigator right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate it, each and every one of you. Lynn, what do you got for us this week?
Vinny, how you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good. And I'm not going to complain.
Well, good. That's good.
As I say, they don't care.
No.
Nor do you, really.
I'm doing good. Wouldn't complain. Well, yeah, I would if I could, but you know.
So yeah, anyway.
Life treats me well. You know?
Yeah, I complain to my wife, and even she's half in. You got it better than most. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, Vinny, this week I think we'll talk about a greedy story.
Okay.
A greedy story that turned out. I guess she got more than she deserved.
Okay.
I got a call for a car accident. It was an injury call. I was called out to investigate. And I show up to this woman's house, and I get there, and I knock on the door, and knock, and nobody answers, and I knock, and nobody answers, and I look at my watch, and I said, "Well, I'm on time. I don't know what the problem is."
She was expecting you?
Yeah. She was expecting me. I set an appointment with her, and I knock, and 3 or 4 minutes pass, and I knock, and I hear somebody yell, "I'm coming!" And she gets to the door, and she opens the door, and she's on a walker. And she says,
how old was she about?
She was in her 40s, late 40s.
Okay.
And we walk over to the table and sit down, and it takes her a minute to get to the table because she's moving very slowly. And she's you can tell that she's just struggling, and she's in pain. And I said, "Ma'am, is all this from the accident?" And she said, No, I'm not going to lie to you. She said, "I did that once." And she said, "That's why I'm in the situation I'm in." And I said, What do you mean you did that once?" She said, "Well," she said, "I was hit by a tractor and trailer about 4 years ago." And she said, "Wasn't that bad of an accident, but I wanted the $1 million policy." And
tell everybody who, if they haven't been listening from the very first episode, because we've discussed tractor trailer accidents before, what kind of insurance they carry, Lynn.
Well, and in the state of Georgia, a commercial vehicle is required to carry a commercial policy, which is $1 million in most cases.
Yeah.
So this
she was after that.
Yeah. So she was after the full $1 million.
Yeah.
So in this case, when they got the insurance policy, they found out that it was $1 million policy. So she wanted the full $1 million. So as she explained to me, she went to several different doctors and faked a back injury. As she put it, she faked her back injury. She says, "I really wasn't hurt." She said, "I didn't need surgery." She said, "But I went to 4 or 5 different doctors and finally found one that would operate." She said, "I found a surgeon that would operate." She said, because as she put it to me, surgeons are there to operate, so they will operate. And she said, "I've never been able to walk right since." She said, "I've been in tremendous pain."
Let me see. So she went to 4 or 5 until she found one.
Mm-hmm.
That let's say she went to 5. That means 1 out of 5 doctors are corrupt.
Well,
Is that what that means?
Well, or 1 out of 4.
4 of them said, "Get out of my office. I'm not going to operate on you if you don't need to be operating." And the second one said, "Yeah, let's get that money."
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it that way, Vinny. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, and they cut on her, and she was operated on. And I said, "Well, did you get the $1,000,000?" She said, "No." I said, "Well, how much did you get?" She said, "Well, I walked away with 75,000."
She limped away
Well,
with 75,000.
with 75,000, exactly. And I said, "How did you?" I said, "How did you only get away with 75,000?" She said, "Well, by the time I paid attorney fees, and by the time we paid the doctors that I went to that wouldn't operate, and by the time we paid for the surgery, and time we paid for the chiropractors and the all the other doctors involved, and by the time I paid my attorney, she said that's all that was left for me was 75,000."
Oh, so she did get the $1,000,000.
No, she
Oh,
didn't.
oh, okay.
No,
But out of the settlement she did get,
yeah.
all she had, all that was hers was 75,000
Yep.
for and she's got a lifetime of
And she'll never walk again, never work again. And that was part of it. She said I had a good job. She said I had a really good job making good money. And she said I can't work anymore. She said I'm on disability, making a third of what a fourth of what I was making at my job. And she said now I don't have. She said I had good insurance. She says now I don't have. She said now I'm on state insurance, on Medicaid, which is sucks compared to what I had. She said, and now she said I can't enjoy my life. She said before I traveled, enjoyed my life, and she said now I don't. And she said, "Oh, because I was greedy and thought I could get that $1,000,000." I said, "Well, why didn't you get the full $1,000,000?" She said, "Because the car accident wasn't that bad. There wasn't that much damage on my car." And she said, when we sued and went to court, she said the jury didn't award me the full $1,000,000. She said they only awarded me 400,000. So that's what the jury awarded me.
And after paying everything, she's only left with 75,000 for herself.
Yeah, for herself.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, what do you want to do in this case?" I said, "Are you going to overtreat?" She said, "Nope."
And do you remember what the situation was with this case? What it was she wasn't at fault, obviously.
No, in this case, she wasn't at fault.
Okay.
She made it very clear that there would be nobody cutting on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said there'd be no surgery in this case.
Yeah. What did the doctor do? He just said, "Okay, well, we're supposed to do the surgery. Well, what are we doing, doctor? We're just cutting her open."
I can't answer that question. I don't know. I never seen the medical records for that case.
Yeah.
But it was a lower back surgery, and he did a lower back surgery on her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I questioned her.
And she can't go after him because it was an elective surgery.
Well,
so she can't claim malpractice
well, you can claim malpractice even on an elective surgery if there was malpractice there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can. You would have to ask a specialist on this, or someone who was a neurosurgeon in that field. But when you're doing back surgery, no doctor can guarantee you the results that you're going to get.
Right.
And she never recovered from the back surgery like, I guess she had thought that she would recover. So I guess he went in there and
putzed around, did something,
and
yeah. See, this is a lesson for all of you out there. If you're gonna fake a back surgery to get the $1 million settlement, and you go to a couple doctors and the doctors say no, and then you finally get to one that'll do it, just have him do the scar. Just get the scar. Look, all you gotta do is just cut me open and stitch me up, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, that's a good point, Vinny.
Right? I mean, but this, what was this guy trying to be thorough doing? I'm just gonna putz around back here and blah blah blah. Because you said or rather she said that she didn't really need the surgery. She wasn't injured, right?
Yep. Well, and her words she says, I didn't feel that I needed the surgery. She goes, I wasn't having any pain and I was having no trouble walking.
But she was after that $1 million.
But, and that's what that was her words to me.
Yeah.
I wanted the $1 million, and my attorney told me that if I wanted the $1 million, I had to have the surgery.
This episode is brought to you by Simple Funding LLC. For all of your pre-settlement funding needs, contact Simple Funding LLC to receive your money promptly. They're a customer-centric legal funding company that provides exceptional funding solutions at affordable rates. Simple Funding covers a diverse range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, worker compensation, medical malpractice, wrongful death, and more. They recognize that life goes on and you need to access your funds immediately, which is why they offer clients a swift and efficient process with minimal documentation requirements. For more information, visit simplefundingllc.com or contact them directly at 678-855-6232.
And I said, well, why didn't you get the $1 million?
Yeah.
And she says, because because I didn't have that much damage to my car. And she said I had to go to 4 different doctors before the 5th one did the surgery. And she said the insurance company would not settle because because 4 doctors said I didn't need the surgery.
It's a valid point.
It's a valid point.
That is a valid point.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So wouldn't the attorney be up for malpractice? Wouldn't the attorney?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. I say yes. I say yes to that. I say yes. This guy was greedy.
Wouldn't the attorney be? Wouldn't it have been the attorney's responsibility to say, ma'am, you've been to 4 doctors, and they've all said no. The insurance company has 4 doctors that's already said no. They don't even have to have you evaluated.
Right.
To find a doctor that says you don't need the surgery. They've got 4 already saying you don't need the surgery.
Yeah.
Wouldn't your attorney be sensible enough to say that?
Yeah. That's as they say, well, you've heard of drug seeking behavior. Somebody who comes into a doctor's office and says, hey, I got all this pain, doc. I need these pills. And then it sets a red flag up. The doctor's like, oh, this guy just wants drugs. That's money-seeking behavior. Hey, can you do a surgery for me? No, you don't need surgery. Hey, can you do a surgery for me? No, you don't need surgery. Hey, can you do a surgery for me? No, you don't need surgery. You know? So the court looks at that and they say, no. This woman was actively looking. Yeah, that's.
But and I'll tell you this.
You're right, buddy. Though that's the attorney's fault. The attorney should either needs to pony up some bucks, dude.
It needs to be disbarred.
And be disbarred, 100%.
And the law firm that represented her in that case.
Yeah.
I won't tell you the name of the law firm, but I will tell you that they advertise on TV.
Oh boy.
Every day of the week.
Every day of the week.
Yep.
Well, one comes to mind right now. I'm not going to say their name because we don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
I don't want them to force any surgery on me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, but I think the doctor and the law firm should have to be investigated.
Be investigated and perhaps even compensate this poor woman.
Yeah. But
she was talked into it.
Well, not only was she talked into it, but she's responsible. She's 1/3 responsible for it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
She even admitted to me that she was responsible for it.
Okay. Yeah.
She even said, I knew I didn't need the surgery, but I did the surgery because I wanted the money. Right. She even said it was my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good. she even said, but her attorney should have advised her that she had 4 doctors on record telling her she didn't need the surgery before she found the 5th one that told her that they would do the surgery on her.
Yeah.
So her attorney should have should have advised her that she wasn't going to get that money for that reason.
Yeah.
And her attorney should have advised her, hey, look, you're in pretty good health. This is only going to deteriorate your health if that doctor goes around digging in your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and the doctor should have advised her the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, when I go digging in your back, ma'am, you're probably never going to be the same again.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty serious, pretty serious surgery to have you back. Even when you need back surgery, it's pretty serious.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, and the chances of recovering better off than you are only about 50%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty
serious.
Pretty risky.
And risky. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, if I'd have been her, I would have went after the attorney and the doctor, but.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But she assumed all responsibility.
Did you advise her? Like, hey,
no, I didn't. No. It wasn't my place.
Yeah. Well, just for fun, what was this case about? Did she win it, the second case, or did she?
Oh yeah, but it was a small case. She just got a few $1,000s out of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with no hospital visit, no doctors or anything.
She's seen a chiropractor and an MD, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very small, very, probably less than $3,000 or $4,000 worth of damage to her car. Probably had less than a $5,000 medical bill, so she didn't get much.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It was insignificant.
Right.
Yeah. Very insignificant compared to the surgery she had before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very sad, man. Very sad.
But the first surgery took her away from her job, put her on disability, took her good health insurance, and put her on Medicaid.
Yeah.
And took a vibrant life away from her, and pretty much condemned her to living inside of a house the rest of her life. She admitted that she didn't even get out anymore.
Yeah.
She said she hardly ever sees the outside life anymore. She said she stays inside all the time because she's in so much pain she can't do anything.
And back pain is up there on one of the worst pains to live with.
Yep.
I mean, it's just awful.
Especially when you're on a walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who do you blame? I mean, she accepted responsibility. Now, you turn around and I met this guy who was hurt in a work-related injury, and he was right-handed, but he got his right arm injured and he couldn't move his right arm. And he was in so much pain, and workman's comp would not give him any help. And he hired an attorney, and the one question he asked me he said, I want him to remove my right arm. He said, I'm in so much excruciating pain. He said, I just want my arm removed. Wow. He said, look, it's just dead. And he would just pick his right arm up and just drop it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't move it. It was just dead. There's just a dead limb there.
Yeah. So why be in that pain? Right.
That was his, he said, I don't want this pain anymore.
Right.
He said, I just want this dead limb removed to stop this pain.
Right.
He said, I hurt all the time. And do you know that we had to fight forever for 18 months to get this guy medical treatment on this workman's comp case?
Because they didn't want to pay for it.
Because they didn't want to pay for it.
Well, by dragging it out like that, they paid court fees and blah, blah, blah. So they paid way more than they should have. They could have just got this done. Boom, boom, boom. It's over.
Well, Vinnie.
The insurance companies, man. Yeah.
Insurance companies, when they get their teeth sunk in something and think they can win,
yeah,
they will spend they will bankrupt themselves to try to win it than they would if they just went ahead and paid it. They're the most hard-headed, nonsensible that I've ever seen in my life.
Nonsensible entities.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And you want to know why? Probably because there's so many different levels, like a bookkeeping that goes on inside an insurance company that one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing.
Yep.
So, this one says no, 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 no. They have no idea what's going on below them. They just keep saying no.
This episode is brought to you by the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates, voted the best law firm by the American Institute of Trial Lawyers. When life hits you hard with a serious injury, don't let insurance companies hit you harder with lowball offers and endless runaround. You deserve justice. You deserve compensation. You deserve to win. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates have a high-powered legal team with a nationwide reach and the highest rating on the National Attorney Rating Service. Trial Magazine calls them one of the most influential law firms in America. They win big. Big results at trial court, appeals court, the state Supreme Court, and are recognized as award-winning litigators of the year. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates handle everything so you can heal. Don't face this battle alone. The aftermath of an accident is traumatic enough. Medical bills pile up, pain overwhelms, emotions run high, and that's where they step in to shoulder the legal fight while you focus on what truly matters, your recovery. They are the first law firm to offer a bigger settlement guarantee. If they can't beat the amount of your current settlement with a bigger settlement offer, your legal fees are free. Ready to win your case? Find out in one phone call if you have a case and how much your case is really worth. Call the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates today at 1-888-477-0597 or visit them online at becauseyouwanttowin.com.
I do a lot of, I don't anymore. I used to do a lot of work for insurance companies. And I had an attorney at the insurance company tell me, I was working on a case for him, and I said, it's best that you just go ahead and settle this case. I said, because you can't win this case. I said, you just said, well, go ahead and settle it. He said, I agree with you 100%. He said, we should have settled this case a long time ago. He said, but you don't understand. He said, the policy is I can't settle the case until the adjuster decides that it's time to settle the case. I said, but you're the expert on the law. He said, yes, I am. I said, well, is the adjuster a lawyer? He said, no.
No, he's just some bureaucrat, right?
I said, does the adjuster study the law? He said, no.
Oh, boy.
I said, well, why does the adjuster get to make the decision on when the lawsuit gets settled? He said, I don't know. That's just the policy of the law of the insurance company. I said, so a lawsuit's been filed, and the insurance company had rather this a-hole that knows nothing about the law determine whether you, the lawyer who knows the law, settle this or take it all the way to court. And he said, yes. I said, so you, the lawyer, have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars more to hold this off. I said, do you ever have the right to settle it before it goes to court? He said, no. He said, the adjuster has to make the decision to settle it, or a judge or jury. He said, I don't have the right to settle it.
But it's not the lawyer that works for the insurance company that's paying those bills. It's the insurance company, right?
Yeah, it's the adjuster works for the insurance company, and
so does the lawyer.
So does the lawyer. Yeah.
So the lawyer, he's going, yeah, I know, we can't win, but I got to go to court tomorrow to argue this dumb thing again because that's what they're paying me to do.
Yep.
So here I go, right?
Yep. And the adjuster who doesn't know the law says, no, we're not going to settle it. Take it to court.
We're not going to settle. Well, you would think that the CEO would take a little walk down the hall and go, hey, man, where's all this money going?
Yeah.
It's going to fight this case. Well, what's the case about? It's about this blah, blah, blah. What are you doing, you moron? Settle the dumb. You would think, but in those insurance companies, literally no one's talking to anybody. And
obviously.
That's why there's so many cases like this where it just makes zero sense. And they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting.
Now, this was just one insurance company. I don't know that it's like that in all insurance companies.
Oh, for sure. But I've seen a lot of movies where they're fighting a big insurance company, and it's always that situation where nobody, then there's the big scene where the CEO comes in, and then suddenly, there's this realization, and, oh, really? That's what's been going on? Well, holy cow. And,
But Vinnie,
you think that insurance companies are the, they're all evil, and then you see the CEO, and it's just some normal dude.
Yep.
Doesn't know what the hell's going on, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
But why, once that a lawsuit has been filed, why is the adjuster allowed to overrule the attorney?
That's a good question.
Who put that policy in effect?
Yeah.
Why is the adjuster not taken completely out of the picture?
You want to know what it sounds like to me?
Stupidity?
Well, yeah, definitely stupidity. But it also sounds like drunk on his own power.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to boss this attorney around.
Yeah.
This attorney went to school longer than me. He's smarter than me, but I tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Because the company gave me that power.
Yep. Yep.
Possibility, right?
Well,
yeah.
Possibility.
I mean, you run into that every day where just like a little bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Has a little bit of power. Like, you ever run into a guy who, you ever run into one of these guys that does inspections for buildings? Like, before they can start work on a building, the inspector comes out and, they got to issue a permit.
Yep.
If everything's not up to spec or whatever, they can't continue, or he won't renew a permit. And this guy, you wouldn't believe. I mean, I used to work on construction sites. I've met some of these guys, and they're usually these little guys with glasses, nerdy guys, and they're holding up this whole production, and they love every minute of it.
And they have no idea about construction.
No idea about construction. They just know that screw wasn't turned the right way or some shit or whatever, or that pipe is not bent the proper, or was the bend in that pipe isn't an exact whatever degree angle. It's
couldn't bend a pipe if they had to, couldn't drive a nail if they had to, couldn't put a screw in if they had to, have trouble starting their car.
So that's what it sounds like with this adjuster. It sounds like this guy, hey, I got all the power, I'm in charge.
Vinnie, happens every day. And me and the attorney had a long talk about it. And he just said, look, this is just the way it is. And this is just what we have to do. And we try to reason with these adjusters all the time. And he said, sometimes they're just hard headed and they will not budge. And we just have to, we just sit back and let it ride out. And we just go to court and lose these cases.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
I said, well, don't you get tired of going to court and being made a fool of? And he said, yeah, but he said, that's just a job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He said, sometimes we just try to postpone it until the adjuster decides that he's going to settle it. He said, you can't reason with them. He said, sometimes we try to go over their head. And he said, that just makes them mad and they fight us on all the cases. So
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So your case may be held up just because you have an adjuster that you pissed off.
Yeah. So be nice to him.
Yeah.
Send them flowers or candy or something, or maybe like a pizza for their lunch break.
Yes. And
just thinking about you.
Yeah. Just thinking about you. Just trying to bribe you.
Yeah. You'd be amazed at what a properly made pizza will get you in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, just a nice hot pizza for lunch to an adjuster will get you.
Yeah, that you weren't expecting. You're like, oh man, I got this tuna fish. It's it's a couple days old, and I got a sandwich, and that's my lunch. And all of a sudden, a pizza arrives. Your whole day changes. You know what I'm saying?
And they open it, and inside the box, you got a little note.
Yeah. Just thinking about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to settle this case today.
Yeah, I'm going to settle this case today. I bet. Hey, man, give it a shot.
Yeah. I would tell you the name of the insurance company, but I'm not going to step on any toes.
No. We don't want to mess with that.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to step on any toes. I still got friends at that insurance company, so.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to step on any toes. You never know when I might need to settle a case.
There you go.
of my own.
Exactly. Right.
Or you never know when I might rear end somebody and might need them to not settle my case.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just hold out a little bit longer on that. Just see how much you can frustrate them.
Yeah. Well, in that instance, don't forget about the warm pizza.
That's right.
Or a box of steaks from Omaha Steaks. Just
mentioning Omaha Steaks, I love Omaha Steaks, Vinnie.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
They're not sponsoring us, but they should.
That's right.
Hey, if you like stand-up comedy and goofy videos, check me out online. All the links to all my social media is on my website, Vinnie.com, VINNIE.com. If you're looking for someone, if you're trying to serve someone papers, if you need someone surveilled, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Lambdin is the best. Tell them your website.
www.lwias.com.
Yes. And thank you, Simple Funding and the accident attorneys of Monge and Associates, for sponsoring this episode. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here.
And hit the subscribe button.
Yes, absolutely. See you next week.